Namaskar and welcome to our strategic management video lectures. And in this class, we will discuss about strategic choice. We will continue with our discussion of strategic choice, in which we had seen in the last video that there were two parts. One is the gap analysis, the other was portfolio analysis. Today we are going to start with the first tool of portfolio analysis, and that is the most popular tool used to analyze multi-product businesses, which is known as the Boston Consulting Group matrix or BCG matrix. As the name suggests, it was proposed and with the help of McKinsey consultants and BCG consultants, this matrix was proposed and has been used ever since to analyze companies who have multiple product lines. Now, it is in the form of a 2x2 matrix, as you can see, and this matrix has been formed on the basis of two factors, comparison between two factors. One is the market growth rate, which can be high or low. I mean, a market could be very fast growing market or a very slow growing market or not at all growing. So, a high growth market or a low growth market, and the other axis is represented by relative market share. Relative market share could again be high or low. Relative market share represents what percentage of the market, considering the whole market share to be 100, what percentage of the total market is available with the company in question as compared to or in relation to the market leader. So, this is a relative market share and not an absolute market share. It is not expressed in terms of percentages. It is expressed in form of decimal, I mean from a value of 0 to 1. We have, after analysis, it yields, the BCG matrix yields 4 distinct groups or categories of businesses. To explain it in a simple way, I have taken the case or example of, this is a fictitious example, an imaginary example of a company ABC Group, which is involved in multiple product lines. We have taken 7 product lines, P1, P2 and so on up to P7. These are different products, could be P1 could be cars, P2 could be banking services, P3 could be FMCG and so on, pharmaceuticals. It could be any kind of product. Now, it is important to remember that all the portfolio analysis tools, apart from McKinsey's 7S framework, have been devised to analyze or evaluate SBUs or strategic business units. What does this mean? Well, as you can see here, these are unrelated product lines. Okay. So, each of these product lines, if they are not connected with each other through technology or market or consumers, then each of them needs to be treated like a separate concern or a separate firm. So, each of them would be treated as an SBU, independent SBU. So, each product has to be evaluated on the merit of its own market growth rate, its own relative market share. So, the beauty of this analysis is that irrespective of which kind of industry or which kind of product you deal in, this tool can help you represent all your product lines in the same 4 categories or in any of these 4 boxes. So, let us begin with the analysis. We have assumed that there are certain business factors of this ABC group, and the business factors are that it is a 50-year-old group, it is an established and well reputed organization, it has among its strengths, it has research and development, R&D focused organization, it has a relatively good market share, good meaning not negative, and goodwill. Well, any organization which has been around for 50 years will have a decent amount of goodwill. On the environmental side, in the business environment factors, we have assumed that there is high competition in this business environment that it operates in. The price sensitivity of customers is assumed to be high of each of these segments, and the environment has more or less stable laws. It could be due to a stable government, or even successive governments have not changed business laws for a very long time. So, those are environmental factors and these are business factors which will help us in conducting this analysis. Now, as we go on, let us assume that P1 operates in a very fast growing market. P1 is a product category or a product line which operates, whose market is growing very fast and it has high market share, meaning in that fast growing market its own market share is pretty good, which means P1 could be a market leader or at least a market challenger or at least in the top 3 of that particular product segment. We are assuming that P2 is operating in a slow growing market and in that slow growing market it is doing pretty well for itself. I mean, it has established itself, the brand is well known among the consumers and people are buying, people are looking for it, people have known this brand for a very long time. So, they are asking for it, they are purchasing it and the company does not have to spend a lot on advertising anymore. So, its own market share is pretty high. A slow growing market and in that the product P2 is performing well. Let us further assume that the same condition is for P3. A slow growing market with high market share, assuming that P4 and P6 have similar characteristics, as in market share and market growth characteristics are same for these two products, and that is, let us assume that these are operating in a fast growing market. They are operating in a fast growing market. Their businesses are operating in a market which has huge demand for that particular product, but their own market share is assumed to be low. So, low relative market share. P4 and P6 are operating in a very aggressive market, a very fast growing market. Consumers are demanding products, but their own brand is not fetching a lot of demand. Consumers are not demanding their particular brand, they are taking or they are buying from other brands, but P4 and P6 have not been able to garner a lot of market share. So, and P5 and P7 we are putting in the last bracket, and that is they are operating in a slow growing market and their own market share is also low. Okay. P5 and P7 are product categories or products or brands which are in a slow growing market. Perhaps in the past this market or this product had demand, had considerable demand, but right now they have either maxed out, they have saturated their demand, or perhaps the product has declined in its life cycle. It is not able to furnish any more sales. Despite the best efforts of the company, maybe the company is putting in a lot of money, but still the product has not been able to generate a lot of revenues. In that case, let us categorize it in this way. P5 and P7 are in a slow growing market with low market share. Now, come to this analysis of this matrix. We are going to analyze ABC group and its products using the BCG market matrix. Here we will see that high growing markets or fast growing markets, markets with high growth rate, and the business, if it is having a good market share, high market share, the relative market share of that particular product is high, then it is termed as these SBUs, these product lines, these sister concerns, these firms, these brands, they are termed as stars. Stars, as you know, some individual is called a star performer if they yield very high returns, and in that case, for businesses also, there might be certain brands in a group company or group of companies. Certain brands might really perform well in a very high demand or a high growing or fast growing market. In that case, we call them stars. Now, come to our example here. We have one product. We have one brand or product which is operating in a fast growing market and is having a high market share. So, which box are we going to put P1 in? P1 is considered to be a star product because it is operating in a fast growing market, a market which is growing at a fast rate. Its growth rate is pretty high, and inside that market it has a high relative market share. So, as this box here indicates, it is a star performer or a star SBU or a star product or a star brand. Next, we will move to cash cows. Now, cash cows are products, SBUs or brands which operate in a relatively stable market wherein the growth rate or the market demand or the patterns of demand or the number of consumers or consumer additions is not very fast. Some growth is happening, but the rate of change is pretty low. In that case, the market growth rate will be low, and inside such a market, that particular brand has a high relative market share. So, in this picture of ABC group of companies, we have P1, P2 and P3 as brands which operate in slow growing markets with relatively high market shares. So, we have P2 and P3 as cash cow companies or cash cow brands. Next, we will move on to question mark SBUs. Now, these are SBUs which operate in a high growing market. There is demand for the product, but consumers are not purchasing your brand. The demand is being satisfied by perhaps competition. So, in that case, you are missing out on a pretty large number of consumers. Your own growth rate is pretty low. Either that, or perhaps you are new to the market. Perhaps the business has just launched and it wishes to launch in this market, or it decided to come into this market because it has a high growth rate. The market is growing pretty fast. So, you wanted a chunk out of this market also, you wanted to have or create your own market share. In that case also, you will be you'll find your SBU in this box. In such a market, your own relative market share is low. There could be two reasons, as I said. You could be a late entrant or a new entrant to the market, to this high growing or fast growing market, or you have maxed out, your product has declined. So, perhaps you were once a star and now have degraded to a question mark, because a movement from the stars to question marks is pretty common. You were a very decent performing or a very high performing brand, but people are not looking for you anymore. They have found alternatives. Perhaps they do not like your product features, perhaps you did not innovate enough. So, for any reason, people decided or consumers decided to migrate from your brand. So, in that case, once a star, now the brand has converted into or has progressively degraded into a question mark brand. Similarly, a cash cow could also degrade into a question mark if the market growth rate of these segments, if it improves, and in such segments you continue to be a low relative market share, you have a low relative market share, then cash cows might degrade into a question mark also. Quadrant, you cannot move on to the question mark segment, because this normally does not happen, as we will see in the discussion of dogs. So, in our diagram here of group ABC, we find that P4 and P6 operate in a fast growing market, a market which has got a high growth rate, but its own, these two brands, their own market share is pretty low. So, what are we going to write here? P4 and P6. Is it P6? Yes. P4 and P6 are product categories, brands or SBUs which fall into the question mark category. Finally, a market growth of a certain segment is not growing very fast. It is a slow growing market, and in that market your own relative market share is also pretty less. Now, this could have resulted from a cash cow position or even a star position. A star product can degrade into a dog category product, provided there are drastic business environment changes happening where a product is suddenly facing obsolescence, and in that, once you were a high performer, now you have degraded into a low performing brand. So, in that case also a star might degrade into a dog. Cash cows also might, if they are ignored, if they are not taken care of during their decline stage, a product decline stage of the PLC. In that case also a product category or brand, an SBU, might degrade into a dog category. So, here in our case we have P5 and P7 which operate in slow growing markets alongside having low market share. So, P5 and P7 would be termed as dog category SBUs. Now, what do these analysis yield? We have understood that how to address the nomenclature of this matrix, how to give them names, I mean how to categorize these SBUs. Now, once you have decided that you have one product brand or one of your product lines is a very good performer, is a high performing category or a SBU, then the organization might want to encash upon its growth rate. Also, a cash cow whose reputation is pretty high and whose longevity is pretty high also, and it is a mature product. Probably the maturity stage has arrived for this product. That also means that the company does not have to spend a lot on promotions, because due to being in the market for a long time, probably a lot of people know it already. So, you do not have to spend on promotions a lot of money. So, in that case also you can continue earning without spending a lot. So, as you can see, for a star category product, you can choose to either make profits or to establish your own reputation. This product might choose, or this brand might choose, might be chosen to either build upon a reputation or build a market share. For a cash cow category SBU, you might choose, no, there is no more question of building a reputation, it already has it. So you might choose to, you can sit back and earn as much profits as it can possibly give in the remainder of its life cycle. Question marks need to be addressed very carefully. If your product is new to the market, which is why it is having a low market share as of now, you might wish to cultivate it, nurture it into a very decent performing product through quality initiatives, to promotional decisions. You might like to invest on this category of products, and you can garner better market share for such categories. Dog SBUs, they are normally hived off, they are normally shut, but the company has to decide for how long it can sustain such SBUs. So that is about the BCG matrix. I hope it is clear to you. In the next video, we will look at the GE 9-cell matrix, which borrows heavily from the same concept. So we will take the case of ABC group of companies again in the GE 9-cell matrix. Till then, keep watching. Thank you for watching this video.